Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be an unhealthy one-way crush. I've got an email from a poor dude who's had a crush on this girl that he knows since he was a kid, and now that they're all grown up, he's got a really unhealthy attachment to her. He's got a horrible case of one-itis, or the myth of the one, referring to an article I did many years ago. So we're going to see what we can do to get this guy back to reality so he can move on with his life and start interacting with somebody that's actually interested, instead of projecting his irrational fantasy and allowing this girl to continue to disrespect and take advantage of him. Because things are not going well. So I got a quote that I wrote, and we're going to jump right into his email. And the quote says, "When we believe we are awesome and know our value, we will not tolerate people who do not recognize it or treat us the way we deserve to be treated. When we do not believe in our own greatness, we will become unable to recognize or acknowledge when other people mistreat and take us for granted. We always act consistently with our self-perception. Focus on becoming a person of value, creating a great life and lifestyle you are proud of, and only interact with people who treat you the way you want to be treated. Remember, you invite more of whatever you tolerate." And this guy, unfortunately, he's allowing himself to be treated like a fucking doormat. "Dear Coach, please help me. I have loved my childhood friend since the beginning of time. She is everything a man looks for in a woman. Yeah, except for the fact that she's dating somebody else and not you. I mean that in every sense of it. I would walk 40 minutes every day to her house just to see her. That's nice and cute and romantic, but is she doing the same thing for you?" See, when a guy's projecting his fantasy onto somebody, he does all the work and notices that very little, if anything at all, is coming in return. People who feel the same way will make a mutual effort, and those that don't, they simply won't. She had a hard life, so in other words, that's his excuse to continue allowing her to beat him like a piñata. So did I, but just one glimpse of her, I would rejoice, and every pain or struggle that life had on me would disappear. Now that sounds like something right out of a sappy movie. Because if you value yourself, that's great and that's nice and romantic and wonderful, but if she's not reciprocating it, you gotta see reality as it is, and he's obviously not doing that because he's projecting his fantasy. Just like I said in the quote, he's not seeing himself as a high value person, and therefore he allows somebody that's not reciprocating interest to treat him like dirt. It doesn't matter how long they've known each other, and at this point she obviously doesn't have a lot of respect for him, and you'll see in a second. Long story short, time has taken us apart. She moved to a different country, and I continued living my life. I became an engineer, and 15 years passed. In my heart, I always knew she was the one. Dude, there are 7.5 billion people on the planet, and half of them are women. She's just one chick. And if I ever get in touch with her again, I will let her know loving her through the years kept me righteous. So you had no personal life because you were fantasizing about this chick. Because again, you see the shit movies all the time. There's one perfect person. I look at it as there is an endless supply. As you grow and evolve, the people that you date grow and evolve. Everybody's different. Some people are serial and monogamous like myself. Other people want to settle down with one person, spend the rest of their lives with them. Everybody's different. Different strokes for different folks. Give people the space to be who they are and live their lives the way they want. Don't try to imprint your worldview or your religious beliefs or your relationship type beliefs on other people, expecting them to conform to your worldview so you feel more comfortable about your own choices. If your choices are so great, demonstrate that to the world, and if it's a superior way to be, other people will model you. So I did get in touch with her, and I told her how I felt. Everything was good for a while, and then she would disappear. I would leave her poems in her Facebook email every day for almost 3 years. Dude, that's a lot of writing. Did she send you any poems? Think of dating as like a game of tennis. You went and not only did you get like one ball machine full of tennis balls, but you got like 20 of those things and you just turned them up full blast and just barraged her with tennis balls of love. Eventually she fucking left the court and hauled ass. One day she called me crying and promised to stick by me. But obviously she didn't. Because if she did, I wouldn't be reading this email because he would have never emailed me. So what does that mean about her promise? She meant it in the moment she said it, but if you don't act like a man, she's going to find somebody else who does. Honestly, Coach, because of her, I have learned to love someone without expectation. We made plans for our future. Started a business because that was her dream. Then one day she asked for money, and I gave it to her without hesitation, and after that day, everything changed. Yeah, because she lost respect for you. She knew you were a sucker, and you weren't really paying attention to the fact that she wasn't reciprocating. She was giving you some promises and blowing some sunshine and up your ass, and you were all too willing to be bamboozled by her. Always look what people do, not what they say. She disappeared again. If somebody really loved you and cared about you, they wouldn't disappear. The only reason she disappears is because she doesn't need you right now, because somebody else is probably fulfilling her needs. She's getting the hot beef injection from somewhere else, dude, and it ain't you. That's a sad reality. She disappeared again, and she started telling me that she's not a phone person and stuff. He goes, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds totally logical. Okay, that makes sense why I haven't heard from you in a while. Not because you don't care, but just you're not a phone person. That makes total sense. And if you don't think you're very valuable, you're going to look at that and go, oh, that sounds totally reasonable. Okay. I'm an easygoing guy and very straightforward. My roommate then one day started telling me that this girl she's giving your money to some other guy and she played you. Sounds like your roommate is a wise man. Maybe you should listen to him a little more. I got depressed, and one afternoon I was drinking and I texted her and asked her, how come you didn't ask her boyfriend, who I didn't even know he existed, for help, but you asked me? Is it because you know my loving you makes me weak? Come on, man. Think about that. Is that a masculine thing to say? Does that make you look like a guy that's desired by women? It makes you, when you say something like that, it makes you look pathetic. It makes you look weak and like you have zero self-respect. The captain of the football team is never going to say anything like that. He's going to just move on to the next cheerleader. Before that, also, I had my doubts, and I have tried to not contact her. As Master Yoda said, try not. Either do or do not. There is no try. Before that, I also had my doubts, and I have tried to not contact her, but I ended up texting her, but after I mentioned her boyfriend, she got so mad, and I quote, I will never love you, and about why I didn't ask him for help, she sent me the guy's picture. So she gave you the big hairy middle finger, dude. That's her way of rubbing it in your face. Why? Because you expressed weakness about her having a boyfriend. And so after the knife is stuck in your back, now she's fucking twisting it by sending you a picture of him, saying this is the guy that's fucking me and you're not. That sounds like a really nice, you've known this girl your whole life, all these years, multiple decades, and this is how she treats you, and yet you're going, wow, this is great. Thank you. May I have another? And she said after that, to get that through your fucking thick head, dude, it sounds like she really cares about you. She's basically calling you out and saying, dude, you're being a bitch. It's time for you to grow up and be a fucking man. She'd have more respect for you if you just walked away and never fucking looked back. Coach, as a man, I can live without love, but I can never live without respect, but I need guidance. Please help me. Well, your pursuit of this woman is over forever, for the rest of your life. You have to look at it from the perspective of she needs to earn another chance with you, not the other way around. You've given her countless opportunities to see your value, and all she's done is take advantage of you and take your fucking money and give it to some fucking loser who is such a loser that he can't even make enough money to support her own fucking bills, but yet she's fucking him and not you. So she needs to earn another chance with you, not the other way around, dude. And what that means is, again, 100% of the calling, texting, and pursuing must be done by her forever. If she reaches out to you, say, hey, great to hear from you. You still got a boyfriend? I'd love to see you if you're single. But if not, it's really not. I don't really want to hear from you unless you're single again, because I want to meet somebody that cares about me and appreciates me. And quite frankly, you never pay me back the money that I lent you, and I don't like the way you've treated me. So unless you're going to treat me nice and appreciative and apologize for the things you said and done, I don't really have much to talk about. But I really appreciate all the memories. But if she turns out to be single, then say, great. Well, if you want to make it up to me, why don't you grab a bottle of wine, come on over to my place, and we'll make dinner together. And then hang out, have fun, and hook up. The only distance that you should be willing to travel to see this girl is the distance that it takes to go from wherever you are in your place to your front door to let her in. If she won't do that, withdraw the offer. And if she reaches out to you and just like out of 7 Principles Get an X-Back, if she reached out twice, 2 times in a row, and you've asked her to come over and make dinner, and she won't do it, after that, you're not going to ask her anymore. She'd have to bring it up. And then from that point forward, you're only going to talk to her for 2 to 3 minutes on the phone max, or you might send 2 or 3 texts back and forth, and that's it. And then you'll just say, hey, it was great hearing from you, but I got to run. Keep in touch. And 1 or 2 things will happen. She'll either bring up getting together, or she'll just stop contacting you for good. The only way you're going to meet her out or pick her up or any of that shit is if she comes over at least 3 consecutive dates in a row and you hang out, have fun, and hook up successfully. You need to read my book, ASAP, dude, and get some other women in your life and start practicing and having some experience, because you spent, at least from this looking at your email time-wise, at least 2 decades of your life being obsessed with somebody that's fucking somebody else, and who knows how many other dudes are in her life. I mean, have some fucking self-respect, dude. You don't get what you deserve in life. You only get what you negotiate. You've been a piss-poor negotiator. So it's time to step up your game, get some other options, start interacting with other women so you stop coming from this scarcity mindset and thinking about her like she is the one. She's just a chick. And quite frankly, from what she's read here, if I was your buddy and your broom, I'd say, she's a fucking asshole. Fuck her. She had her chance. If she wants to come over and make dinner with you, great. Otherwise, you're not fucking interested. Don't waste your damn time. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book whatever coaching option works for you. And I will talk to you soon.